चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So we read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 29th chapter, 16th verse. Please repeat the sloka after me. Madhishneya darshana sparsha Puja stuti abhivandane Bhuteshu madbhavanaya Satvena sangamena cha Madhishnya darshana sparsha Puja stuti abhivandane Bhuteshu madbhavanaya Satvena sangamena cha Madhishnya darshana sparsha Puja stuti abhivandane Bhuteshu madbhavanaya Sangamena cha Madhishnya darshana sparsha Puja stuti abhivandane Bhuteshu madbhavanaya Satvena sangamena cha. Anyone likes to chant?
Krishna Mataji, Krishna Mataji. Madhishtaya darshana sparsha Puja stuti abhivandane Bhuteshu madbhavanaya Satvena sangamena cha. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Madhishnya darshana sparsha puja stuti abhivandane bhuteshu madbhavanaya satvena sangamena cha. Hare Krishna
Mataji. Madhishnya darshana sparsha puja stuti abhivandane bhuteshu madbhavanaya satvena sangamena cha. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Madhishnya darshana sparsha puja stuti abhivandanaya Bhuteshu madbhavanaya Satvena sangamena cha. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Madhishnaya darshana parsha puja sumandavane Bhuteshu madbanavaya satvena samangamena cha. Hare
Krishna. Okay, I'll see the synonyms. Hope the disturbance is gone. My voice is clear. Mat, my. Dishnya, statue. Darshana, seeing. Sparsha, touching. Puja, worshipping. Stuti, praying to. Abhivandane, by offering obeisances. Bhuteshu, non-living entities. Mat, of me. Bhavanaya, with thought. Satvena, by the mode of goodness. Asangamena, with detachment. Cha, and. Translation: the devotee should regularly see my statues in the temple, touch my lotus feet, and offer worshipable paraphernalia and prayer. He should see in the spirit of renunciation from the mode of goodness and see every living entity as spiritual. The devotee should regularly see my statues in the temple, touch my lotus feet, and offer worshipable paraphernalia and prayer. He should see in the spirit of renunciation from the mode of goodness and see every living entity as spiritual. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Temple worship is one of the duties of a devotee. It is especially recommended for neophytes, but those who are advanced should not refrain from temple worship. There is a distinction in a manner a neophyte and an advanced devotee appreciate the Lord's presence in the temple. A neophyte considers the Archa Vigraha, the statue of the Lord, to be different from the original personality of Godhead. He considers it as a representation of the Supreme Lord in the form of a deity. But an advanced devotee accepts the deity in the temple as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He does not see any difference between the original form of the Lord and the statue or Archa form of the Lord in the temple. This is a vision of a devotee whose devotional service is in the highest stage of bhava or love of Godhead, whereas a neophyte's worship in the temple is a matter of routine duty. Temple deity worship is one of the functions of a devotee. He goes regularly to see the deity nicely decorated, and with veneration and respect, he touches the lotus feet of the Lord and presents offerings of worship such as fruits, flowers, and prayers. At the same time, to advance in devotional service, a devotee should see other living entities as spiritual sparks, parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. A devotee is to offer respect to every entity that has a relationship with the Lord. Because every living entity originally has a relationship with the Lord as part and parcel, a devotee should try to see all living entities on the same equal level of spiritual existence. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, a Pandita, one who is learned, sees equally a very learned Brahmana, a Shudra, hog, dog, and a cow. He does not see the body, which is only an outward dress. He does not see the dress of a Brahmana or that of a cow or of a hog. He sees the spiritual spark, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. If a devotee does not see every living entity as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, he is considered Prakruta Bhakta, a materialistic devotee. He is completely not situated on the spiritual platform. Rather, he is in the lowest stage of devotion. He does, however, show all respect to the deity. Although a devotee sees all living entities on the level of spiritual existence, he is not interested in associating with everyone. Simply because a tiger is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord does not mean that we embrace him because of his spiritual relationship with the Supreme Lord. We must associate only with persons who have developed Krishna consciousness. We should befriend and offer special respect to persons who are developed in the Krishna consciousness. Other living entities are undoubtedly part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, but because their consciousness is still covered and not developed in Krishna consciousness, we should renounce their association. It is said by Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura that even if one is a Vaishnava, if he is not of a good character, his company should be avoided, although he may be offered the respect of a Vaishnava. Anyone who accepts Vishnu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead is accepted as a Vaishnava, but a Vaishnava is expected to develop all good qualities of the demigods. The exact meaning of the word Satvena is given by Sridhara Swami as being synonymous with Dhairyena or patience. One must perform devotional service with great patience. One should not give up the execution of the devotional service because one or two attempts have not been successful. One must continue. Sri Rupa Goswami also confirms that one should be very enthusiastic and execute devotional service with patience and confidence. Patience is necessary for developing the confidence that Krishna will certainly accept me because I am engaging in devotional service. One has to execute only the service according to the rules and regulations to ensure success. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Matnyanatimurandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurudamena Tasmai Shri Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapreshthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nidhinamini. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatirishadarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Madhishnya darshana sparsha puja stuti abhivandane bhudeshu madbhavanaya satvena sangamena cha. Translation. The devotee should regularly see my statues in the temple, touch my lotus feet, and offer worshipable paraphernalia and prayer. He should see in the spirit of renunciation from the mode of goodness and see every living entity as spiritual. Can understand English? Hare Krishna. So we'll continue from third canto, Srimad Bhagavatam 29, chapter 16th sloka. So here Kapila Dev says, we should regularly go to the temple and see the statue of the temple. Regularly. It's not just a statue made up of wood, stone. Pradima nahi tumi sakshal Brajendra Nandan. So that's what Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela says. Pradima nahi tumi sakshal Brajendra Nandana vipralagi kara tumi akarya karana. Pradima nahi tumi sakshal Brajendra Nandan. It's not just a statue, right? He's sakshal Brajendra Nandan. But it's how we see. So it says, you are not a statue, you are directly the son of Maharaj Nanda. Okay. In which context this is happening? Does anyone know? Which story is this in Chaitanya Charitamrita? See some old Brahmana. This is Adish Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sakshi Gopal story.
Yeah, Sakshi Gopal, yes, Sakshi Gopal. So we know that story of Sakshi Gopal where the Gopal, the deity, walked and came to give the witness. So it is said, yes, it's not just a statue. He is directly the son of Nanda Maharaj. See, it says, for the sake of the old Brahmana, you can do something you have never done before. So he went to that old Brahmana, and for the young Brahmana, the Lord walked. No, so it's not just a statue. Pradima nahi tumi sakshal Brajendra Nandan. Right? It's just that's a statue. We feel it's like a statue because we don't have that eyes to see Krishna. Premanchana Charita Bhakti Vilojana. We are not advanced, right, into that level to understand that it's not just a statue. But how we approach Krishna, Krishna reciprocates the same way. If we see that's just a statue, Krishna will behave like a statue. But he's not just a statue. Pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada can talk to the deities. No? That's the relationship. Like some devotees have Ladu Gopal. They see him as their son. That bhav is there. So it's not just a deity made up of, yes, the deities can be in different forms. Srimad Bhagavatam explains. There are 8 forms the deity can appear. Shaili dharu mai lauhi lepya lekhya cha saikati manomai manimai pratimsta vida smrita. So that 8 forms that deity can appear is, one is made up of stone, can be in a stone. It can be made up of wood. It can be made of metal. It can be made up of clay, sandalwood, and other substances. And also it can be painted. That is even a picture is Krishna. And then it can be made up of sand. It can be also in the mind and made up of jewels. So these are the 8 varieties how the Lord can appear. Okay, Shaili means stone. So you've seen so many temples in Vrindavan also. There is a Radharaman temple, right? So for whom did Radharaman appear from the Shila? From Shalagram Shila. For whom?
Gopal Bhatta.
So Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So that's a Swayambhu deity. That's again the stone, the Shalagram Shila. Then the deity can be made up of wood, Daru. What's the example of Daru Brahman? Who's called Daru Brahman? Deity made up of wood.
Jagannath.
Jagannath is called Daru Brahman, right? He's made up of wood. So we can't just say, oh, wood is not the Lord. Because Lord says, everything is Krishna's energy. Bhumi Rapo Nalavayu Kammanur Buddhirevacha. Everything is Krishna's energy, external energy. So the deity can be made up of stone, can be made up of wood, okay, can be made up of metal. You see in some ISKCON temples, even the small deities are made up of metal. You can see in Mayapur, the big Panchatattwas are metal. It can be made up of clay, right? It can be of sandalwood. And also it can be painted. It can be a picture. Even picture is not different from Krishna. And can be made up of sand. It can be in the mind, Manonmai, the mind. And Manimai, made up of jewels. Okay, so these are the 8 forms, 8 varieties how the Lord appears to us. So these are the 8 forms the Lord can appear. So we can't say, oh, the picture is not a deity. So one of the famous online shopping center, they had this mat on the floor to put, like people step on that mat, and it was put on the bathroom door. And it became like everyone started seeing it in the website. And sadly, it's one of the famous online purchasing website, and it had Gaurnitais on it, a mat on the floor. They didn't know. They just thought it's some. They didn't know it's the lords themselves. They just took it, and then the whole ISKCON community, it spread like viral, and then everyone voted against it. And finally, we submitted to the online shopping center, and they immediately removed the thing because they didn't know it was Gaurnitai. So even in the picture, in a paint, so the deity of the Lord can appear in 8 varieties in a stone, wood, metal, earth, paint, sand, and mind and jewels. Even in the mind, we saw that how a Brahmana, the South Indian Brahmana, was having kheer, and then he wanted to offer to Krishna, and his hand got burned. So in the mind also Krishna can appear, and also in a painting form. The pictures that is painted, that's also Krishna. So some devotees will ask, I don't have DPs at home, what to do? I have just a picture. That's also Krishna only. Picture is also Krishna. So, but then how we approach Krishna, Krishna reciprocates the same way. So here it is said, Prabhupada says that especially neophyte devotees. Now sometimes they say there are God is everywhere. Why you have to go only to the temple? If God is everywhere, why he can't be in the deities? So Prabhupada says that because deities are prana pratishta is done, and that's the Krishna's energy is everywhere. But then for a neophyte devotees like us, we won't be able to appreciate Krishna. Electricity is everywhere. Now, how do you realize there is electricity? We can't see electricity, right? But how do you realize there is electricity? How do you realize? We can't see electricity, no? But how do you know there is electricity?
Light is there.
Switch on the lighting.
Yeah, so there is light is there is fan is rotating, so we know there is electricity, but we can't see electricity. Does that mean electricity is not there? We can't see God. We don't have that ability to see God. Does that mean God doesn't exist? So God has to come in an Archa Vigraha form. That's his mercy. Krishna is coming in that small deity form, that special mercy of Krishna. In Kali Yuga, we won't be able to appreciate Krishna. Right? Kalikale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna has come in his holy name. The Hare Krishna mantra is not different from Krishna. But we are not able to appreciate that. Even Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is not different from Krishna. But we are not able to appreciate. But when he come in a deity form, in an Archa Vigraha form, that's why it's called Archa Vigraha. That is authorized by Krishna. So Prabhupada says we should regularly see the statue in the temple. Why? If you constantly see the statue, that impression comes on your mind. And when you start doing japa and everything, that sweet smile of Krishna comes to your mind. So as a neophyte, we should go. But later on, Prabhupada says an advanced devotee need not go to the temple because he is already in complete Krishna consciousness. Okay, and then we should worship the Lord and also see everything as spiritual. So here it is said this is one of the duty of a devotee, right? A neophyte devotee sees the Archa Vigraha statue as different from Krishna, but a pure devotee doesn't see like that. An advanced devotee accept the deity as Krishna, right? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we see, we feel that there's something stone that is Krishna, and the pujari is like living. But a pure devotee sees the pujari as a dead matter, the spirit soul, and Krishna as living. So that's the difference in vision. Now what we see. And only a Madhyama Adhikari can, so there are 3 types of devotees. Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama. So when we come to Krishna consciousness, we are just Kanishta, neophytes. Neophytes can't understand devotees. I mean, we just know Krishna. We come to temple, we might offend a devotee. You know, sometimes when we do service, that attitude comes, oh, I'm the boss. Okay, I can do, I'm proud of my service and nobody else is doing service except me. That bossing thing will come. And then you start offending other devotees, which is Prakrita Bhakta, or it is just neophyte. They are not even devotees because they think themselves as devotees and they think others are not devotees. No, that's completely wrong. If we have done offended someone, we should ask for forgiveness because we should not feel proud of our service. Krishna doesn't like it. How long it will go like this? Krishna doesn't like it. When your senior Vaishnavas doesn't like it. If you make somebody cry during the service, that's a neophyte worship. So neophytes, they know only Krishna. They don't see devotees. They don't worship devotees and they ignore devotees. But in Madhyama Adhikari, they see 4 things. Ishvara tadda dineshu balisheshu satsucha Prema, Maitri, Kripa, Upeksha, Yat Karoti, Sa Madhyama. The four things which a Madhyamadhikari sees is Ishvara, that is Krishna. He knows Krishna. And then Tad Adineshu means devotees. He knows who his devotees are. Bali Sheshu, he sees the innocent people, like somebody, a materialistic person, he's innocent and he tried to preach to them. And Vidashuja means envious people. And he'll do four things. Madhyamadhikari will do four things. Prema, Maitri, Kripa, Upeksha. Prema means he loved Krishna, God, Ishvara. So Prema. Then Maitri, he makes friendship with devotees. Maitri. Kripa, he show mercy to the innocent. And Upeksha, he ignores the envious people. So this is from 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Ishvara Tadadineshu Balisheshu Disasracha. The four things Madhyamadhikari says is Ishvara, Krishna, Tadadineshu, the devotees, Balisheshu, the innocent people, and Disasracha, the envious. And he'll do four things. Prema, Maitri, Kripa, Upeksha. Prema means love, he loved Krishna. Maitri, he make friendship with devotees. Kripa, he show mercy. And then Upeksha, he ignores the atheistic or the envious people. Yet Karosi na Madhyama. This is the four qualification of a Madhyamadhikari. So we are not still there. We are not in Madhyama stage. Neither we are there in Kanishta also. We are Satakas. We are trying to be devotees. No? So a second class devotee or a Madhyamadhikari, he offers his love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's a sincere friend to the devotee, who show mercy to the ignorant, who's innocent, and he disregards those who are envious. We don't have to entertain such people. So this is a qualification of a Madhyamadhikari. So Madhyamadhikari sees Krishna and also his devotees. So they don't do offense. But an Uttamadhikari, he thinks everyone else is a Vaishnava except him. So he can't preach. So he comes to the Madhyama stage to preach, so that he can see the devotees and make friendship with devotees. But we should be careful of not doing any offense to the devotees. So Prabhupada mentions here a temple worship has to be done. It's not just a statue. What are the examples, you know? Okay, Sakshi Gopal is one example. Which else example, you know, where to prove that it's not just a statue, it's Lord himself.
Udupi Krishna Mataji.
Udupi Krishna, yeah, turned for Kanagadas. Yes. Then
Kirichor Gopinath.
Kirichor Gopinath. For he stole Kir for whom? Shubham Prabhu. For whom did he steal Kir? You know.
Madhavendra Prabhu.
Yes, Madhavendra Puri. Okay. Then only these two, you know. Okay.
That's
Sakshi
why
Gopal
I
is one. Yes. So there is Sakshi Gopal. There is Kirichor Gopinath. Then DT. Some DT sat for somebody. Someone was worshipping the DT. And yes, Shobhamalli Mataji, who's that?
Oh, Srinath ji Mataji, Nathdwar.
Srinath ji, who came down so to Madhavendra Puri, again to Madhavendra Puri. Yes, Uma Mataji, who is that DT who sat?
Pandrapura.
Vittala, very good. Yeah, the stone was thrown and Vittala was standing like this. Yes. Sureshwari Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. There is one Tamara Kannan at Guruvayur near this one shrine, and that Tamara Kanna was playing with Sri Villamangala Thakur.
Yes, yes.
Then he was scared when that priest goes there inside, he is not there. So he just went through the pipe and he just stood near that shrine. So that is also an example for God moving from one place to other place.
Yes. Okay, that is there. So Akshata Mataji says about Tota Gopinath. Very nice. Yes, Tota Gopinath. When Sharmila Mataji says. So Tota Gopinath, that is who sat for Gadadhar Pandit. Yes, Krishna was standing, but then Gadadhar Pandit became old. He could not decorate Krishna. Krishna sat for Gadadhar Pandit. That deity is there. We saw when we went for Puri Yatra. He was sitting. Krishna sat. Okay, that is another. So what does these stories prove? How can Udupi Krishna turn? It's not a statue, you know. If it's just made up of stone, how can a stone turn? It's not possible. So atheist people, they say so many things, but then as devotees we should understand it's not just a statue, it's Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. So today I'll share one small story which happened in Kerala. It's a place called Varkala. So once what happened, the Kali Yuga was approaching and Lord Brahma and Narada, the father and son, So Brahma was and Narada was thinking, what will happen to people in Kali Yuga? Kali Yuga is so degraded and people are just going to not do any devotional service or anything. So Brahma is decided to do a big yaga. So he wanted to find a place. So he sent Narad Muni. Narad Muni can go anywhere now without any visa. He can go to any planetary system. So Narad Muni was traveling, and when he traveled in one place, when it reached near Kerala, his upper cloth fell. The Uttariya, it just fell, and that place he's like, okay, this is the place to do yajna. So he informed Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma came, and big yajna was created in that place, yaga. So once you do yajna, you distribute prasadam. So prasadam was distributed to all the brahmanas and everyone. So much prasadam was there, but slowly Brahma became proud of the yajna. So Krishna doesn't like if a devotee becomes proud. He becomes himself to teach a lesson. When he doesn't like the prideness in devotees. So he came in a small Brahmana form, and he asked for some food from Brahma. So Brahma is like, okay, I can feed him, not a problem. So Lord sat, and how much ever food you put in the plate, Lord's plate, it got emptied in few seconds. Krishna kept eating. Like, so how we saw Jagannath also, like Chappan Bhog, so much he can eat. He's the Lord of the universe, right? He can eat fire, anything he can eat. So he went on eating. Brahma's like, who's this? Like, so much, everything in the storehouse, everything got emptied. Krishna kept on eating. So when Brahmanas, they eat, they have some water in the hand. They offer to the lords and they do achaman and then they eat. So every time Krishna finished eating, he used to have some water and he'll wait for the next offering to come. Again, Brahma will give, again. So what happened? Brahma was so involved in yajna, he forgot his creation and all other duties and he became proud. Krishna didn't like that prideness. So Krishna came to teach a lesson. But Brahma understood that is Krishna. Already when Brahma Vimohan Leela happened, so Brahma already knows. And then Brahma could understand that is Vishnu, Swayam Bhagavan sipping. So even now, and it is said, when you go to that Varkala Janardhan Swami Kshetra, that is, even now the temple is there, you go, the deity is like a small Brahman boy, like a boy standing, and the right hand is like this. And in that hand, there is some water, that because that Brahman boy was holding that water, and there was no food. So that water, even it's been like so many years, that water never dries in Krishna's hand. Even now, if you go, and it seems that water is just flowing through down, and it goes and collect near a well, and that well connects to another well and goes and merge to the sea. It's called Papanashini. Anybody who takes a bath or a dip in that water, all the sins get removed. But the shocking thing is, not only he's holding like this and there's water in his hand, in the deity, the hand is slowly raising year by year. And it seems 1 year, if finally when the Lord drinks that water, it's the end of Kali Yuga. When the Kali Yuga ends after 4,27,000 years, that means all the deity worship, everything gets over. So devotees go to that Varkala Janardhan Swami Kshetra to see that beautiful form of the Lord with the hand, right hand like this, and water in it. Just imagine, water is not drying. Where is that water coming? Nobody knows. So is that just a statue? No. So we think, it's just a statue, but it's actually Swayam Bhagavan himself. There's so many, it's not just a stories, it's all pastimes of the Lord to prove that he's Pradima Nahi Tumi Sakshal Rajendra. So only a materialistic or Prakrita Bhakta thinks that he doesn't see the devotee, but then we should see the devotee as part and parcel of Krishna. But a neophyte devotee cannot see like that. A Madhyama Adhikari starts seeing that. And here it is said we should associate only with persons who have developed Krishna consciousness, not with anybody else. Asat Sangatyage eva Vaishnavachar. We should not associate with non-devotees. We should always associate with Krishna conscious people. Otherwise, Maya can attack us. And also here it is said we should have a lot of patience while doing our sadhana. One must perform devotional service with patience. Okay, and confidence. So patience is necessary and also confidence is necessary while doing devotional service. The Prabhupada gives an example. Husband and wife immediately won't have child. No? The wife has to serve the husband and they have to like at least 10 months to wait. And then again, if she's carrying again, she has to wait for 9 months. A lot of patience. Now, sometimes they get upset, I want a child, but then you should be patient, no? That is a great patience we can ever think of, no? That patience. So Prabhupada gives that example, that how a wife and the husband. Immediately they don't have a child. They have to live and they have to care for each other, love, and then for a few years or few months, and then only they'll have a child. So that patience, immediately after chanting Hare Krishna, we won't become pure devotees. We won't get renounced from this world. No, that is artificial. So we should need lot of patience while doing devotional service, and also confidence that yes, Krishna will accept me one day. That confidence also is needed. So nectar of devotion, Rupa Goswami says in verse 3, Ulsaha nishya dhairya tatta karma pravartana sangatyage sado vritti shabbir bhakti prasiddhyati. The 6 things which help us to advance in bhakti is ulsaha, should be enthusiastic. So Prabhupada says, if you're not having enthusiasm, then we can't do any service. If we are we're dull, then we won't be able to serve. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada's guru says only a dead man cannot preach. Dead man doesn't breathe also, he doesn't preach. That means whoever is living should preach. Cooking is also preaching. Deity worship is also preaching. Everything is preaching. It's not just giving a class, it's preaching. No, everything is preaching. Preaching means calling some soul towards Krishna. So when you prepare prasadam and feed the Vaishnavas, that's the greatest service you can do. Through that prasadam, you are actually giving Krishna to them. That's also greatest preaching, to feed the Vaishnavas. Deity worship is another great preaching, because when neophytes come, they are attracted to Krishna in the deity form. They can't appreciate shastras or the holy name. They appreciate the deity. So see how beautifully Krishna looks. So you are attracting that soul towards Krishna. You're doing the deity worship. So anything, Prabhupada says, even sweeping the temple is preaching. Anything, any service done to Krishna is preaching. But everything needs a lot of patience and confidence. And one should execute the devotional service according to the rules and regulations. Not too much rules, but little bit of rules should be there. The cleanliness and everything has to be taken care while you execute devotional service. Okay. So also it is said that Krishna appears in the Archa Vigraha form. In this 4th canto, it is said, Etavatvam hi vibhubhir bhavyam dhineshu vatsale yad anusmarye kale swabudhya bharat randana. So here it said, Krishna is the killer of all inauspicious things. And Krishna is so compassionate to the devotees that he comes in the form of Archa Vigraha. So Krishna come in Archa Vigraha. It's not just a statue. I kept on saying that it's Krishna's mercy. Krishna comes in that form. Sometimes we feel the deity, like unless we dress them, they can't get dressed. Unless we put them to sleep, they can't get sleep. But is Krishna like that? Thousands of Lakshmis are serving Krishna. But Krishna is allowing us to do that. That is his mercy on us. Right? So we are getting benefited. It's not the deities are getting benefited by our service. We are getting the mercy. But we take the other way around. Now, when we offer bhog, it's not Krishna just sees your bhav. He's not seeing whether he's not seeing whether you have offered rotis or dal or biryani or whatever it is. Krishna sees the bhav with which you cook. Bhavagrahi Janardana he is. Right? So how much ever we do service, Krishna captures the bhav. Outside we might be having tilak, kanti and great Vaishnava, but inside only Krishna knows, because he is in Ahatas Paramatma. We can't fool him. So we can't measure bhakti. It's not like you know a lot of slokas and you're a great devotee. No, you might be a simple person, but then you have nice bhav towards Krishna. That's what is needed. So today take home lesson is, let's see deities as the Archa Vigraha, means as the Swayam Bhagavan Pradimanihi to me Sakshal Brajendra Nandan. He's not just a statue, and there are 8 forms Krishna can appear. He can appear in form of metal, wood, stone, clay, sandalwood, paint. Even a painting is Krishna. So we should not see him different from the Lord, and he is Swayam Bhagavan. And also let's respect the Vaishnavas and let's associate with Vaishnavas in a nice way. And we should have a lot of patience in executing devotional service and have that hope, Asha Bandha, that Krishna will certainly accept me because I'm engaged in Krishna consciousness in devotional service. Might be not in this Janma, we'll go back. At least next Janma, we can start from where we stopped. Then we've seen young children playing the Danga and reciting nice slokas, born in Vaishnava family. But unfortunately, we started Krishna consciousness a little late. It's okay. Next Janma is there. Some are like 84 lakh Janmas we wasted, and we're like, one life we do devotional service. This life only I want to go back. One devotee was asking me, should I have to come back to again do devotional service? I'm like, are you sure you're going to go back? Might be, they might go back, but we are stuck here. But then we are confident. Salpam apyasya dharmasya prayade mahadopaya, right? We can start from where we stopped. So this Janma, let's put our maximum effort. Prabhupada says, serve Krishna to the best of your capacity. Best of your capacity. Whatever, not everyone is good at cooking. Not everyone is good at deity worship. Not everybody is good at studying Shastra. So everybody has their own inclination. Some are very good at Kirtan, serve Krishna with Kirtan. Some are good at deity worship, serve Krishna in deity worship, right? If you can try other field of other forms of devotional service, but whichever you are good at, do the best to serve Krishna, to please Krishna. And Krishna will be happy, Krishna will be satisfied. And Krishna knows what your intention is. Whatever small service you did, Krishna will never forget it. It's always good for you. It's like a fixed bank balance which is never going to be taken by anyone. At least next Janma, Krishna will bless us. And definitely, because of Srila Prabhupada, we're all in this Krishna conscious movement, and we should be really happy that we have a soft opening coming. So many devotees have already come. So please do come. And Rath Yatra is not just a rope festival. It's like a procession for Krishna. It's a festival, and Krishna enjoys that. And whoever pulls that Ratha once, our bhav should be like we are pulling Krishna towards our heart. So Rath Yatra is nothing but Krishna was in separation from Vrindavan Vasis for 100 years. In Kurukshetra they met, and when Krishna saw the Vrajavasis, Krishna's eyes became big and hands and leg went inside. He became the Jagannath form. And Radharani and the Vrajavasis was imagining to put that Krishna on a cart and pull him towards Vrindavan. So Rath Yatra signifies pulling Krishna in our heart of Vrindavan consciousness. So our consciousness, Prabhupada's like anybody who takes part in the Rath Yatra gets certainly liberated, provided we take it seriously. It's not just fun, but yes, fun is there because there's a lot of devotees, Harinam, Kirtan. By the way, Prabhupada's disciple Jivanath Prabhu is coming. Whoever came to Mayapur, we know Jivanath Swami Maharaj Prabhu is such a great Kirtaniya. He made the whole audience dance in the Kirtan. So he's very powerful. And please come to get that association of Sadhu Sangha. And let's welcome Shri Radha Govinda to the new plot, new land. And that's like pulling Krishna towards our heart of Vrindavan. So all of you please participate, and Prabhupada becomes more pleased. Prabhupada gave Rath Yatra everywhere. No, it's not just in one place, it's there everywhere. So let's prepare to pull Krishna towards our heart. And when so many devotees are there, then Krishna will definitely manifest there. And by the way, that Varkala Janardhan Kshetra, which I said, then Kerala, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have visited that temple, and he was there for 3 days, and he took bath in that river that where that water is coming from Krishna's hand. And so that's a blessed place. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. Mittal Mataji, about the Rath Yatra, where it starts and ends and everything, will be informed soon, because we just Prabhu is just planning the route of Rath Yatra, so we have just a few more days. So we'll inform it when there's a group formed. We'll be informing it. Okay. Hare Krishna. Anything to add? Anything to add?
Mataji, Ashtadhatu is also used for constructing the deities, no?
Yes, these 8 forms can be used to construct deities: metal, wood, clay, no, jewels.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Neeraja Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, Yashoda Maya was Vaishya, Mataji.
No, we can't see these Vaishya, Kshatriya, Brahmanas. This Chaturvarnyam is for conditioned soul. They're all eternal associates of the Lord. We can't say just because Krishna was gracing house, he was the foster son of Nanda Maharaj, he's a Vaishya. No. Vasudeva, he's a Kshatriya. These classification is for us, Mataji. Just for the pastime purpose, they came as a Vaishya family, Krishi, Goraksha, Vanija. But that doesn't mean they are a Vaishya, because they are above the 3 modes. They're all eternal associates of the Lord. No? This classification is only for conditioned soul like us.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dinesh Prabhu. Yeah, Pooja Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji, Bilva Mangal Thakur in 12th chapter, it's mentioned that when he was blind and he removed his eyes because those sense certification. So the Lord used to come and hear his bhajans. Huh? So is there any detailed form or it's just the pastimes we have?
Of Villamangalam Thakur? No, only this one. Like that prostitute came and then he realized that he has to worship Krishna, and then later on again he got attracted. He took his eyes and so yeah, that's.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hopefully there will be online coverage for Rath Yatra for the online devotees. Yes, Pujavanda Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. See, I want to know that exactly where is that temple which you mentioned here, Vartala or some temple you said now, just now where Krishna is.
Varkala Janardhan Swami Kshetra.
Varkala Janardhana Swami Kshetra. Okay. Near Guruvayur?
Near, yes. Little bit.
Trivandrum.
Yeah, Trivandrum. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining. Vanchakalpatarubhyash chakrapa sindhuveva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.